Hello everybody and welcome back to another Thursday Thought. Today I thought I would just tell you a little story about what has happened recently. I recently got a comment on one of my videos that's like 2 years old. It was when Buddy was still alive. It was actually a video of Buddy and Rio. And I had somebody comment something kind of like not very nice. They just basically said, your horses are in horrible shape. No muscle tone whatsoever. And when I first read it, I got really angry, obviously. Really pissed me off. Number one, because it's a 2-year-old video. So unless you want to see the newest videos and check and see what my horses look like then, and then comment, yeah, your horses still look horrible, it's just really kind of a cheap thing to do. That was my feeling. And it really brought up a lot of things because I typed and retyped and deleted and retyped and sat and took a couple days and not look at it. And it really bugged me because I know my horses, because both of them are senior horses and they're not performance horses. They aren't sport horses. They are partially retired. They're not going to be in the best of shape muscle-wise. And Buddy at the time looked pretty bad, but at the same time, he had a hard time keeping meat on him. We tried all kinds of different things to make sure that he stayed as fat as possible, but it's something that you can struggle with. And I mentioned that this was something we were going to try out for gaining muscle. It's something we were going to work on. And it just really bothered me that you had someone who just outright was just like, oh, your horses look horrible. They didn't look underweight. They didn't look like they weren't taken care of. They just didn't have good muscle tone. And so one of the things that I really was thinking about, and I still haven't responded because I really have to wait until I've cooled down, because I know that if I start trying to respond in a state of anger and I don't let myself cool down, which can take forever because I'm a little bit of a hothead, I will respond with something that is not very Christ-like, and that is the last thing I want to do. I don't want to try to, sully the name of Jesus by being not like he would want me to be. And so one thing that I just thought about was the fact that this is part of the reason that it's so hard to be a part of the horse world. Yes, there are a lot of people that are very supportive, but I have found that more and more you have people who just want to go and pick at the little things. They want to go and pick at the things that either you struggle with as a horse person, or maybe you don't have a lot of knowledge. Maybe you're someone who has horses and you're really trying to learn and to do things for your horses, but maybe you just don't have time. And maybe the best that you can do for them is keep them healthy, keep them happy, keep them fed, and get to ride them every once in a while and not do anything crazy and just give them a good life. And maybe your horse doesn't have the most amazing, toned out, muscled body. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as they're healthy, happy, and fed and taken care of, that's all that matters. And I find that a lot of times we're just very ugly to people who are either new in the horse world or just don't have the standards that we have of what a healthy horse should be, or how you train your horse, or how your horse should look, and things like that. And so anyway, I just wanted to come on here. I think I have talked about this before, and I have mentioned a little bit about it, but it just reminded me of that. And one thing that is just really sad is this comment came like a week ago, and to think that you would comment about that with someone's horse and not know the circumstances. Number one, both of the horses at the time, senior ages. One of the horses now has passed away from brain cancer that was unavoidable in my ability to take care of. You never know the circumstances of what has happened either since that video or even what was happening in that video. As far as that person knew, Maybe I just got the horses and I'm trying to get them toned up. Maybe this is the first time they've been able to exercise since they've been on stall rest. And that might not be my story, but that might be somebody else's story. And that's the biggest thing. I know that there is a horse out here and she looks awful right now. And it's not that she wasn't being taken care of. It's because something has happened to her that has caused her to drop a lot of weight. And they're trying to take care of that and figure it out. All of a sudden, she dropped a bunch of weight. And if you were to go from a horse that has always been overweight, a horse that has always had problems with her weight, and you were finally seeing her start to lose some weight, and you were like, good, she's finally getting to a place where she's not going to be suffering with the diseases that horses can develop with being fat, to be quite frank. And then all of a sudden it keeps going and it keeps going, and this horse that you've never had problems keeping weight on is suddenly underweight severely. And now you're trying to figure out what to do. But from somebody's outside perspective, you might be videoing saying, this is my horse, I've had her this many years, this is what happened, and people will just assume that you're just a horrible horse owner, even though it might be some circumstance that you can't help. There are so many things that can happen horses are extremely accident prone. Horses can have the most random issues all of a sudden. Rio, for example, randomly decides to develop either heaves or COPD. We're not really sure. So, I think the biggest thing in the horse world is as long as you see the person taking... Now, I can understand if you've been following someone over a period of time and they are giving obvious signs that they are abusive, not good at taking care of their horse, anything like that, call that out. That is understandable. But you watch one video somebody posted and you just assume all this stuff about them. And I think that's one thing that has really been very disappointing. The more that I've gotten on social media with horse stuff and just seen it, I mean, like I've said in a video just recently, the joys of wanting to own a horse and all that and do horse riding with my friends and do this and do that. And that's like, I have a friend of mine who is very excited about me getting my trailer fixed and so that we can go and ride out on this trail and all this stuff. And it's just so exciting. And, we just enjoy horses because we love horses. And so, anyways, I just thought I'd jump on here and say that because it was just one of those things where I was like, really? Really? And it is one thing that you become very insecure about when you have animals, is you're always wondering, is somebody going to look at my animals and think, I don't know what I'm doing? Or are they going to think, well, you're a horrible person because you don't take care of them, even though you're spending lots of money on them, trying to do all this stuff to take care of them, doing all these different things, and you're stressing about whether they look okay, whether they're healthy, whether they're happy, and then somebody comes on there and just assumes that you hate them or just are abusive or neglectful. Anyways, just some thoughts for today. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!